live, or to look at other paintings and see other, and try to understand what we're dealing with, because sometimes, we're not dealing with oil paint, with tempera, we don't know what they used. So in that case, it's vital. If we go back to a more sound technical tradition, painters usually followed step by step some sort of, well-known technology. We don't really need to study that artist in depth. The other case is when we have several paintings by the same artist, and I actually, when these paintings will leave, I will start again working on a group of 17 paintings by a Pacific Northwest woman artist. Having 17 paintings of the same artist, and probably more will come from the same collection, I'm of course curious of the chronology of them, to see how the development of the artist, the creative and artistic development went. I'm curious to read the letters. I'm curious to read about the artist because it's such a long piece of her life that I'm working on that it doesn't necessarily help me working, but it becomes more like writing a monography of somebody. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Did you learn anything more about Elshin when you?
No, this is the question I didn't want you to.
Right.
Because
that's right.
yes,
Okay.
I learned that I liked him better than before.
Boy,
What can I say?
Boy, you could I ask you? I know you said you didn't want to answer the question about the social realism thing, but
No, that's okay. What I can say, I'm not an art historian, so I can tell you what my personal taste goes towards in figurative, very realistic paintings, especially this kind of paintings, in my opinion, are meant to tell a story, and this tells a precise story, and we all identify very much with it, so they have a value for me as historical documents, and also artistic value, but primarily is a story. And to be, let's see, just to make it clearer, maybe I should say that I personally like more a poem over a story, a novel. And to me, abstract paintings or a poem is pure form, is sort of a distilled shape, and my personal taste goes more towards that than this kind of art. Although there are signs of, there are elements that are so fastly painted, so essential, like that teapot, and the way he left the ground color not concealed, that are much more than simply telling a story. There is an immediacy and a freshness in it that I appreciate a lot. Doesn't really answer your question.
Well,
but,
I know it seems like there are styles for different times, and then when a style is different for its time, it's only appreciated afterwards.
mm-hmm.
But when they commissioned these things, I wonder if they had expectations that they would be a certain style, or I don't know, of the WP artists. What I've seen, it all seems to be realistic.
Well, that is something that historically I don't know if there was a control actually over the production. I don't think so, but since it was all coming from, for public sites and with public money, I would imagine that there was some sort of control, but I frankly don't know that.
Actually, there wasn't, but it's just
There
weird.
wasn't. Yeah, it was. It wouldn't be.
It is weird that the government was so.
Yeah, well, that's what I consider amazing about that era. That there was so much freedom. First of all, consideration for the arts. And not in every country is like that today too. Like Seattle, for example, is the first city, as far as I know, who allocated the 1% of all the city revenues to purchase public art and maintain it.
Thank you very much, Ron. Thank you. But you know, Vic said something that is really true. Do you know that Ron was in the Philippines during EDSA 2? And I think Ron really learned a lot from it and really was overwhelmed by what he saw and realized, wow, what a powerful statement the Filipino Americans just did. You know, they changed the whole government by being one, by being together. You know, Vic, I really want to especially thank you for having me here today to talk to you about building your own path to success. But let me take a moment, and Vic alluded to this, let me take a moment to share with you some thoughts on the terrible tragedy that happened in our country last month. You know, I wear many hats. I am part of the House of Labor and the organization that represents over 1 million public employees. I am also part of an organization that advocates for Filipino Americans at the national level, and that is NAFA. So the horrible events of September 11 came at us on several fronts. Now, I've never had music when I was speaking before, but there's always a first. I guess they're happy to hear us. In the House of Labor alone, we count between 700 and 800 casualties. We lost members from the Hotel and Restaurant Employees Union who worked at the windows of the World Restaurant at the World Trade Center. We lost members of the Service Employees International Unions, folks who worked as janitors in the building. We lost members from the building and construction trades. And of course, unions representing airlines and flight attendants also lost members. Within AFSCME, which is the union I work for, we mourned the loss of 5 members who worked in the World Trade Center building and the death of 2 emergency medical technicians. These were the real heroes. The medical technicians were the first on site when the tragedy happened. But in hoping to save lives, they lost their lives. We also have 65 members who were injured, and we wish them speedy recovery. You know, Reverend Michael Judge, the man identified as the first casualty of this disaster, was a member of our AFSCME Local 299. He was giving last rites to a fireman, and they asked him when he entered the building to wear a helmet. When he was doing the last rites, he felt that it was not the right thing to wear, that he was doing the firefighter at the service by wearing this helmet. He just felt it wasn't right. So he took off his helmet while in the World Trade Center and was killed by falling debris. You know, among Filipinos, we are still so uncertain as to how many have perished. I know you have seen the reports that said we had the largest number of foreign members or foreign people that were at the World Trade Center at the time. I believe they published a number that was 420, and next to us was Great Britain that had 300. But one thing that we know, though, is that 11 are confirmed dead, and 1 Filipino was a passenger on the United Airlines that hit the World Trade Center. The reports, and I want to say that are not as bad as what we originally heard. As a matter of fact, I had the honor of meeting with our new ambassador, Ambassador Albert Del Rosario, who has just arrived last Saturday. in preparation to the arrival of President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo next month. They are telling us that the numbers are not as bad as this, and as a matter of fact, it probably is only, and this is of course no consolation, that it is only about 120 that could probably be identified by the time this is all over. But the Filipinos that were in the World Trade Center were mostly in investment and information technology. Now, at the Pentagon, we've had reports that Filipino Americans were being injured and that some had also died. We have not identified those. But you know, allow me to share with you something that is personal. A friend of mine who has worked at the Pentagon for almost 20 years, whose office was directly hit by the plane crash, was only saved because she had to go to a meeting that morning. As she was returning to her office, that's when the tragedy happened. The lights went out, pitch black. The heat was so bad, she said, she for a moment thought, my gosh, if this is hell, I never want to be there. She hung on to a uniformed person. She never knew who he was. She hung on to his belt, and they crawled out to the first sign of daylight they saw, not knowing that they were on the 3rd floor. At the sign of daylight, they jumped out of the window, hoping that it was to their salvation. Well, it did. It saved their lives. She came out with broken bones and her bones sticking out of her body as the ambulance wheeled her out to the hospital. But her friends, the other employees in her department, were not as lucky. Her boss and her friends died in that tragedy. You know, as she tells us today, this trauma has left such an indelible mark on her that she doubts that she will ever recover from this emotional tragedy. You know, as we grieve the lost and the injured, we have also had moments of proud reflection. It was public employees that immediately responded to this emergency. It was firefighters, police officers, hospital workers, 911 emergency technicians who took a record 3,000 calls in 13 minutes after the first plane hit the World Trade Center. All were public employees. The men and women
shoot. Help him. Help. Shit. What just happened? Yeah, the ball in the sun.
I'm gonna blame it on the sun.
Woo! Jamie, change our rotation. Yeah. You stay up front.
It was a little more weird though because it was more
Nice serve. Good effort, though.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Good effort, though.
It'd be funny if I did focus.
Oh, what a serve. Nice that. Miles, somebody else has the same stupid boat I do. No, the little tiny boat with a 30-horse motor. Little dinghy. 8.5-foot short boat with a 50-horse outboard on it. It's just suicidal. It's great. Over. Got it. Get it. Get it. Nice. There it is. There's the finish. Good. Nice try, guys. Son of a bitch. I heard over it. So hard to jump in his damn sand.
I shouldn't be back
And that was fast, huh?
She was in the corner like.
You're like calculating the speed on
Playing
that one.
baseball.
I'm not gonna go after it. Woo! Nice one.
I thought
Nice hit. You better help that shit out. Right here. Here we go. Had to drop it back. Nice. Okay. We're gonna carry 2 back and 1 up. Nice. Whoever wants to be up, set. Okay. So you're gonna be set. Actually, go up on the net more. So that way you're always waiting for a second hit. When he's serving. That way we can hit you in the back of the head. Second jump. Take it.
Get these motherfuckers. I don't walk back in the sun.
Hold on. He said I'm losing my ball. Hold on. In the middle of the play. Hey. Oh. It's out. Why you had to say something? They were going to go for it, too. Hit the line. No, he didn't bother. Play back a little bit.
No, it's way over there.
Let's go. I'm the star player. I'll just play. Hey, set. Please, babe. Get it. Get us you.
JC, will you grab my purse?
I kind of missed the right. Notice I brought the left up, too. Yeah, we're good. Hell no.
Honey, I'm buying.
Hey, Pele! Look at my... There you go. Ace! My fault. Little help. Thank you.
It's like, what do you say, son?
Bullshit.
That lady was like, holy, how's it going? Not good enough for me. All day, man. All day.
Hello. And then Gigi said, how do you know we sat there and watched it?
Ralph to do something?
Okay, Wayne. Light. Well, I don't want to run at him or anything, but he tends to display it. People just for
Turn the wrong way.
display the wrong way.
Maybe he'll start walking.
Hey, Ralph. Are you pretty little people? How's that? Sorry, he put his feathers back there.
Here we come.
Okay, right now, guys.
shadows in.
I know, but if I can get him to. You want us. You want to display for him. Yes, you do. I've seen you display for everything. Just not Crawford. Did you not get the memo? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Come on. There's a garbage can.
This is Ness.
We have friends to go with. Go, but just us. We're kind of like,
climbed over here and they thought I was lunch. Why are you here today?
It's a beautiful sunny day.
Why do you come to the zoo?
I come to take my kids. My children come and look at the animals. They love to see live animals. We read about them in the books, and it's just different to see a real giraffe than seeing a giraffe in the picture. I mean, in the books, and the hippopotamuses. It's just great. They love it. It's a great place to run around. Beautiful grounds. They have a great time.
Why do you like coming to the zoo?
My children love it, and I love it. It's easy entertainment. It's not expensive, and they learn something while we're here. And
What do you
it's
hope
just
they
good
learn about the
time.
world or about animal-human relationships?
We all live together, and you have to respect the animals, respect where they're living, and how.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm rolling.
Okay. Hello again, I'm Mike.
Ready?
Yeah. You going?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello again, I'm Mike James at the old Darigold plant in the Rainier Valley on City Stream this week.
That's great. Safety. Anytime.
Going? Okay. Hello again, I'm Mike James at the old Darigold plant in the, where the heck is it? It's the Rainier Valley, isn't it? Okay. Okay. Hello again, I'm Mike James at the old Darigold plant in the Rainier Valley on City Stream this week.
I'm rolling whenever
Okay.
you're ready.
Okay. Our city voices this week come from the old Darigold plant in the Rainier Valley. West Farm Foods, which owns the old plant. Okay, that's. Okay.
You come from a little further away.
Yep.
And
Okay.
over a little.
Oh, yeah?
This way a little.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. Going? Our city voices this week come from the old Darigold plant in southeast Seattle. West Farm. Oh, say that again. Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm rolling. Our city voices this week come from the old Darigold plant in the Rainier Valley. West Farm Foods, which owns this plant, locked out the workers about 6 months ago in a dispute which involved the Teamsters Local 66 and the company, a dispute over a contract. Now, leaving aside the merits of the dispute, 6 months is a long time to be off the job, and it is hurting.
ready?
Yep. Mm.
Okay.
Our city voices this week come from the old Darigold plant in southeast Seattle. West Farm Foods, which owns the plant, locked out all of the workers here in a dispute with Teamsters Local 66 over a new contract. Now, the merits of the debate over that bargaining contract aside, 6 months is a long time off the job, and it is starting to hurt.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Mm. Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Our city voices. Okay.
Okay.
Go on. Our city voices this week come. Just wave your finger at me. Okay.
Anytime.
Okay. Our city voices this week come from the old Darigold plant in the Rainier Valley. West Farm Foods, which owns this plant, locked out all of the workers 6 months ago in a bargaining contract dispute with Teamsters Local 66. Now, the merits of that bargaining debate aside, 6 months is a long time off the job, and it is starting to hurt.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. You may have a take on the boycott against Darigold and on this lockout that's going on down here, or perhaps generally on labor issues in the United States and locally. And that's a little too much to say in a talkback. The guy went off here.
Anytime.
Okay. What's your take on this labor? And you got a van coming behind you. All of a sudden, okay. Mm.
All right.
Okay. What's your take on this labor dispute on the boycott against Darigold products? It's easy to talk back to us. Send us your email at talkback@seattle.gov. All right, ready?
Whenever you're ready, I'm
Okay.
ready.
All right? Okay. What's your take on this labor dispute on the boycott against Darigold products? It's easy to talk back to us. Send your email to talkback@seattle.gov. Oh, where was I? Boy, I'm cold today for some reason.
Oh, there.
So think about Enron. Think about think about the exec.
That could be you. If only you were executive. If only I could cheat like that. Ready?
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Think for a moment about Enron, about the executives at the top who manipulated the stock price and made off with millions of dollars. Think about athletes who take drugs to give themselves an advantage. Think about students who cheat to do a little better in school. And think about average Americans who pad their expense accounts and maybe take home supplies from the office. They're all part of David Callahan's new book, The Cheating Culture, in which he asks, are we a nation of cheaters?
Beautiful.
I don't think,
But it's never happened.
don't burn the tape though.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Think about Enron for a moment and the executives at the top who manipulated the stock price and made off with millions.
I'm sorry.
One man band.
All right, I'm ready when you are.
Think about Enron for a moment and the executives at the top who manipulated the stock price and made off with millions of dollars. Or think about athletes who take drugs to give themselves an extra edge, or students who cheat their way in school to make a better grade, or average Americans who maybe pad their expense accounts or take home supplies from the office. They're all part of David Callahan's new book, The Cheating Culture, in which he asks, are we a nation of cheaters?
Good. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, okay. We love to hear your comments on TalkBack, and it's easy to do. Just mail us talkback@seattle.gov. Now let's see what's in our electronic mailbag for this week.
Safety.
We love your comments. We love to hear from you, and it's easy to do. Your TalkBack's just God.
This is your first time.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay. We do love to hear from you.
Okay.
We do love to hear from you. We like reading your comments on the air, so send us your thoughts to talkback@seattle.gov. Now let's see what's in our electronic mailbag this week. You want to go back?
I'm rolling whenever you're ready.
Just this thing. Okay. Before we say goodbye, we have a bit of a riddle to close our program. What has switches, a grill, and bellows? Here you go. Another thing here.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, to the right a little. Right,
Okay.
to your left a little. To the left a little. Whenever you're ready.
Here's a riddle to close our program today. What has switches, a grill, and bellows? It's a musical instrument. Here we go.
Okay.
You're going?
I see it just out here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Here's a riddle to close our program today. What has switches, a grill, and bellows?
Ready?
Where are we here? Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay. That's our City Stream program for this week. I'm Mike James at the old Derigold plant in South Seattle. Until next time, take care.
Good.
All right.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. That's our City Stream program for this week. I'm Mike James at the old Derigold plant in Southeast Seattle. Until next time, take care.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Here's a kind of riddle to close our program. What has switches, a grill, bellows? Oh, no, let's do that again. Okay. Go on. Okay. Here's a riddle to close our program this week. What has switches, a grill, and bellows, and is most often heard playing Lady of Spain? I'll do another one of those. Here's a kind of riddle to close our program this week. What has switches, a grill, and bellows, and is perhaps most often heard playing Carnival of Venice?
Their role has just changed a whole
It has
lot
changed a bit,
because
so
they are
she
doing
would
more
have had more of a
technology.
look, yeah.
Yep, yep.
Okay. Right.
Well, let's wait 1 minute. I've got a plane.
So you pick up every little murmur.